Now, I know that you, like everyone else, is pretty much desensitized by YouTube clickbait thumbnailing with surprise Pikachu faces and titles that read, "This is the most insane OTA in Marvel Snap ever." But here's the thing. This one might actually be the most insane, unhinged OTA they've ever done in their history. It's like Second Dinner got in a room, got completely inebriated on boxed wine, and decided to just go after like every popular tech card in Marvel. Don't worry, guys. Cobra has gone unscathed. Don't worry, Cobra believers. But everything else pretty much got nerfed. If it's a tech card you play or want to play, it's been nerfed in this patch. This is a pure nerf patch, and they've gone after all the tech. And there's another important point here. First of all, the language being used is robotic and kind of funny for the flavor of the season. I'm all for that. It does make reading it a little more difficult, but there is something that has been confirmed, and that is that they intend to like revisit these changes near immediately. This is almost like an unbalanced patch. They want to see what kind of nerfing all these tech cards do to the meta. They want to get the sample. They want to see what the game feels like and which one of these can maybe be reverted, which one of them are going to stay. And they said that over the next OTA and patch and etc., they're going to revisit these changes and perhaps revert a bunch of them. Maybe a couple will be left. But it's worth noting that this is going to have a major shakeup on the meta, and I'm all for it. Get the information. Find out if changing Shang-Chi from a 4-3 to 4-2 is going to make that much a difference. I don't think it's going to, but some of these other changes are legitimately insane. So they might not have long-lasting impacts, in particular right now, but perhaps with the data set they're going to acquire over these next few weeks, maybe a month, maybe some of these are going to stay nerfed, maybe permanently. Who knows? It's all up in the air. I don't know. You don't know. And it doesn't sound like Second Dinner knows either. They just want the data. And this is something that a lot of people have been clamoring for in a long time. So I don't know if it's one of those be careful what you wish for moments where like people are going to be like, I want Shang-Chi nerfed. And then it gets nerfed. And it's like, now this card that I need to play is nerfed and everyone's playing devil dinosaurs everywhere, which is not going to happen. But you know what I mean, right? Shang-Chi does play an important role in the game. And let's actually talk about Shongers here. This is one of those cards that I find probably is overhated. It's a 4-3 going to a 4-2, not a crazy nerf. And I get the sense that people get really mad at Shang-Chi because it ruins a lot of your games, let's be honest. And in the Tech Soup decks, especially the Zabu-based ones, Shang-Chi's always making a statement in there. But he runs a massive meta share at 22%. But his win rate's only 51 post Infinite. And I think it's one of those things where, keep in mind, he's also been nerfed in the past, where now he used to only destroy things 9 and above. Now it's 10 and above, so that's a significant nerf. And if anything, that power crept a lot of the 4 cost to that 10 power threshold that has become so common. But Shongers, I mean, a power loss is not that significant because of the board flipping capabilities he has. It's an extremely powerful card, and you win locations in Marvel Snap by putting power on. But I just think this card's probably overhated. It wouldn't surprise me if this probably gets moved back to a 4-3, because I don't think the single power makes that much of a difference. And for that statement, you can say, well, just leave it at 4-2 then. But now you're buffing Cerebro too, so I don't know. Cerebro's getting a lot of love. Whether it's Cerebro 3 or Cerebro 2, Shang-Chi's going to be relevant in either one. But what I will say, though, is that Shongers is probably overhated, but a single power off is not that big a deal, in my opinion, compared to some of the stuff that's coming. This is very timid. Let's talk about the next one, which is Killmonger. Oh my gosh, Skillmonger getting the skill taken out of him. He stays 3-3, but he goes from on reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards, to on reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards here. He's now lane specific. This, in my opinion, is a massive, massive nerf. Does it make Zoo more playable? Perhaps. I mean, like, Gilgamesh Zoo has always been like on the fringes of being legit. And in games where you're against Destroyer, you got Killmongers or Sarah Control or whatever, yeah, you just lose. But honestly, Killmonger, seeing 14% play rate is a lot, but that's also inflated because Moira's doing so good. So before, Killmonger was probably running, and I would assume in like the 7 to 9% range, but Moira has been a breath of fresh air. Like, I love it. Might actually be the best card of the season. And because of that, you're seeing Killmonger being played much more often as an activator for Moira in Destroy, and Destroy is getting more popular. And so now this is a massive nerf. This is one of the ones that I think might get reverted back. This is like one of those test ones to see where it goes. Does Zoo pop off? Does Killmonger see absolutely no play? Does it make the card feel much worse? Because I actually kind of really like the design of Killmonger, and I don't think it needed to be nerfed necessarily. Again, all of these, by the way, I would love to hear your opinion on. Did it warrant the nerfing? And do you think it'll be reverted? It's kind of a double whammy in this particular video. But anyways, Skillmonger going from an all board effect, including your cards and theirs, to just a single location, of course, your card and theirs. So major change for Skillmonger. This is not one that I expected. And then we have Enchantress. This is a massive numerical change. Going from a 4-6 to a 5-8, that's huge. And that's a big kick in the pants for the like the tech soup decks that want to run stuff like Zabu, right? This also steps on the toes of decks that want to run Sarah in their tech soup kind of like control style decks, because I mean, now it's going to be a 4 cost on turn 6. It's a little more awkward. I do think that this is one of the ones that probably gets reverted. Enchantress feels like it plays a very important role in the game, and I feel that this is going to be a card, especially with the prevalence of Cerebro, the power of Bastion that was just added. You have Omega Sentinel. People are going to be complaining about Cerebro. I think this one gets reverted right away. But it's going to be interesting to see this card get put to a 5-8. And if anything, it actually makes other cards like Rogue more playable. So it's funny because you get Enchantress, you nerf it so it's worse, and then you get Rogue, and theoretically Rogue is now all of a sudden more attractive of an option if you're looking to counteract some ongoing. So anyways, this one was running a 7% meta share, 51% win rate. On aggregate, I think that this is far less annoying than a Shang-Chi, as you can tell by the meta share, but still, I think that Enchantress plays an important role. And there was a point in time where Enchantress was too powerful. There was that meta line where it's like it just got buffed and then had to get reverted. We've been down this road before, but moving from a 4-6 to a 5-8 for a tech card that removes ongoings, actually pretty insane. And this is going to have a notable impact on the Surtur shells because Enchantress felt like a pretty good option there at a relatively decent price. So we'll have to see whether or not Enchantress stays with its nerf. Continuing with the nerfing of the most popular tech cards of Marvel Snap, we have Shadow King, going from a 2-2 to a 3-3, a very significant nerf. It's a Series 3 card that runs a 52% win rate and 11% meta share. What I will say, though, is that like the meta share is interesting. It tends to be much more popular at higher MMRs, and at lower MMRs, people kind of just pass on Shadow King. They're like, man, I don't need this card. I'll get something greedier instead. Man, is this card a fantastic card. And no, you're not going to be able to play it in Surfer because Surfer is so directly kind of buff centric right now, and Shadow King's more likely to step on your toes than anything else. However, I don't want to just joke about it. It's a C3 buff, but it kind of is, to be honest with you. It's a great card in C2. It's going to be a great card in C3. But this is a massive nerf. And here's a quick little thing. I'm just thinking about it right now. Do you guys remember what this card launched as? Wasn't it like a 4-4? Like, honestly, we go from basically 4-4, something like that. It was a 4 cost at the very least, to a 2-2, and then now up to a 3-3. Like, it's kind of crazy how this card's path has gone, all the while being largely underrated by the majority of players in Marvel Snap. This is one of the ones that I think is likely to get reverted. I don't know if Shadow King warrants a 3-3. It is one of those cards. I feel like when you lose to Shadow King, you're like less upset about it than losing to something like a Shongers. But anyways, I mean, you're probably still upset to some degree, but it feels less egregious than what Shongers does. Shongers is like, hey, you want to play Marvel Snap and put points on the board? Nope, boom. This kind of says like, hey, you want to play Marvel Snap and points on the board? No, thank you. A little kinder, a little more high skill maybe. I don't know. But people seem to be more pissed about Shongers than Shadow King. But anyways, Shadow King going to a 3-3, a significant nerf. I would probably bet this one gets reverted. That's just my take on it, because I don't know if Shadow King across the entire spectrum of players is warranting a significant nerf. But again, I'm interested in your thoughts. Then we got Negasonic Teenage Warhead going from a 3-3 to a 4-5. Can you guys believe we live in a world where Negasonic unironically sees 13% play, one of the highest win rates at its cost at 53%, and legit is a core component to a whole bunch of different decks, even with things like Fenris getting nerfed, who honestly Fenris has kind of fallen off the cliff, but Negasonic still seeing legit play. It's going from a 3-3 to a 4-5. This is a very significant nerf. And listen, I get it, man. I get it. This card can be very frustrating to play. I think that this is one of those things where, like, I don't want to keep talking about Cerebro. I think Cerebro is going to be very relevant, especially with the change to Enchantress. But you have Cerebro 3 with Bastion running Negasonic, and literally you can get multiple Negasonics. It's like, it's kind of nuts. And as a result, I think they're going after making it a 4-5. Cerebro 5 gameplay now. I gotta pull out that Cerebro 5. Okay, I'm not mentioning Cerebro anymore. I'm gonna try not to at the very least. But anyways, Negasonic, it's kind of mind-blowing to think that it has been buffed, of course, right? It used to destroy itself altogether. Now it doesn't do that. It keeps on the board, but now it's going to a 4/5, which is exactly the treatment that Juggernaut got. But Juggernaut still sees play, specifically in the Victoria Handshell, which is its most popular deck right now. So Negasonic going from a 3/3 to a 4/5 is a significant nerf. This is a massive nerf for this card. I suspect this is going to be taking it out of the meta. I think this is enough where it's like, nah, I don't think Negasonic recovers from this, to be honest with you. I think it's out of the meta now at 4/5, but I'm always happy to be proven wrong. So let me know what you think. Is this one going to get reverted, or do you think that this one is going to stick? I think this one is likely to stick for a while, by the way. This might be one that they're like, people are getting pissed off with Negasonic. It's a little too popular. Let's let the meta shift. This is like maybe next season they'll like bring it back down or buff it again or whatever. I think this one probably stays because I think it's such a just annoying ass card. Then we have Alioth. Alioth getting nerfed. Going from a 6/9 nice to a 6/6. Still has the same effect. Massive power nerf. Now here's the thing. Honestly, Alioth at a 10% meta share, considering how strong it is and considering you got a lot of priority centric decks running right now, it's kind of surprising. Taking 3 points of power off, that's a lot of power, and that really restricts Alioth's ability to trade effectively in a location, because you might strip the points off. So you might strip the effects and the text off something, but 6 power on turn 6 is not a lot, and they might just trade the location you're playing on Alioth, right? It's gonna be great against Cerebros still when they play their Cerebros on turn 6. Damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't help myself. That was intentional. It was not. I just couldn't help myself. Anyways, significant power nerf here. Massive power nerf. Does this take Alioth out of the meta? I think this is one that's too far. Alioth at 10% meta share, it's kind of annoying. Do you remember when like Alioth was like basically 50% of the meta, and every single time you didn't have initiative going into turn 6, you were actually scared that like you were just gonna get deleted? Not just that. Do you remember when he just deleted everything? Like your cards didn't survive and they just disappeared. You remember that? Oh my gosh. Talking about, oh man, imagine having OG Alioth. Imagine they brought OG Alioth back and everyone just played it and was just deleting each other's cards. Maybe I don't want that. Yeah, let's not bring that back. But anyways, this is actually a legitimately massive nerf to Alioth. I bet this is one of those ones that's too far, and we probably find some middle ground for Alioth, maybe a 6/8 or something like that. Okay, so this nerf is probably, in my opinion, the biggest one. Going from a 3/2 to a 3/0 is actually mind-blowing. And I know there's going to be people that be like, bro, this is a Mr. Negative buff. I don't know if this makes a Mr. Negative deck, I'll be honest with you, especially since things like Sage don't always make Mr. Negatives decks. And like, listen, this is crazy. Now, even with the effect and removing of the text, he's just a 3/2. This is bonkers to me, absolutely bonkers. This to me is like, yo, let's sell some of that Cosmic Ghost Rider. Like, Cosmic Ghost Rider as a 5/8 now looks splendid compared to a 3/0 Red Guardian. It's not even close. This is the biggest buff to Cosmic Ghost Rider Chads could have possibly asked for. This is one of the ones I think has almost no chance of remaining as it is. This is so far. And I mean, listen, I understand Red Guardian's annoying. I'm sick of it pumping all my cards, but it has a 10% meta share, which in my opinion is still within the range of like not too cringe. 52% win rate, not too far off from any other things. Negasonics is higher. There's tons of cards higher than Red Guardian. Red Guardian is a feel bad card, and I get it. It's like one of those reasons why you can't buff Black Bolt too much, because you don't want to just discard everyone's hands so they just can't play Snap. Right? There's a reason why you kind of got to rein in some of these annoying cards, but this seems psychotic. Insane nerf. I'm voting this one gets kind of reverted. Let me know what you guys think. I don't even think you can do 3/1. I think 3/1 is not enough. Like, that is too far still. This thing used to be a 3/3. A 3/3. Now it's a 3/0. 3 power off. Like, what are we talking about here? There's no way this one lasts, in my opinion. Just no way. But I'd be interested in your thoughts. And then we have the Doggo. We got the Cosmo. Dog detected. We do not like dogs. It will be changed. Clarification. Sparky is acceptable. This is the most offensive developer note I've ever read. Who does not like dogs? Are you kidding me? You gotta love dogs, man. You telling me that if you have a golden retriever looking at you coming up for cuddles, you're not going to pet that little guy? You got a big guy even? Come on now. Beautiful animals. And I love Cosmo. I got to tell you, I love Cosmo. Cosmo, 51% win rate, 8% meta share. Not all that popular. I don't even know why they went after Cosmo. Is this a Cerebro 3 nerf? I just can't help myself. I'm so sorry. I apologize profusely for my excessive use of Cerebro conversation. I don't know what it is. It's too late for me today, and I'm just completely looped. Going to a 4-6, I don't think this one lasts either. Cosmo's a 4-6 makes no sense to me. And you're like, well, Alex, you can play, I'm not going to say it again. You can play Zabu, or you can play C6. I understand, okay? You could play some C6. But realistically, I think this one gets reverted. I don't think... I can't. I'm going to end the video. I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.